Y'all know if there's an Aaron Rodgers conversation, Speak is your home for it, because for the only show every day, you got Aaron Rodgers' former teammate on the show to talk about it. He won a Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers. James, you heard my frustrations yesterday. I think it's completely unacceptable that he was not at mandatory minicamp. Every other quarterback in the National Football League is at mandatory minicamp, but Aaron Rodgers is not. I think it's completely unacceptable. I'm frustrated, but it's not about me. Should the Jets be frustrated with Rodgers?
Man, this is crazy, man. This is really... No, they should not be frustrated with Aaron Rodgers. Since, like I said yesterday, since Aaron Rodgers has become a New York Jet, he has done everything right besides...
4 plays?
Pop his Achilles in 4 plays. But when you talk about being a teammate, right, we've seen him at basketball games, hockey games, whatever it may be. All the voluntary stuff that we are not talking about. Aaron Rodgers has been at all the voluntary stuff. Nobody is talking about it. There's been plenty of people around the league miss a lot of practice days, whether it's voluntary, mandatory, whatever it may be, and it's not talked about. He has done every single thing right since he became a New York Jet. And we are getting on Aaron Rodgers by 3 days of minicamp to where you don't even really participate like that. And last year, it was so important, they canceled the whole thing. So for me, listen, you can't please everybody, but this is not a big deal at all. We're talking about minicamp, we're talking about practice, and we just practiced 100 times together with OTAs. So this is not a big deal for me at all.
Joy, should the Jets be frustrated? Should they be frustrated with Rodgers? You know I'm frustrated.
I am not frustrated with Aaron Rodgers, for once. I don't think this is a big deal. Now, they canceled it last year because they had the Hall of Fame game, so the season started a week early, and that was their explanation for why they didn't want to have it. Right, but I'm saying, like, there's a little context for why they didn't have minicamp. Whether you thought it was the right thing to do to cancel it or not, it didn't really end up mattering because he tore his Achilles anyway.
4 plays in.
Look.
I help somebody else.
The Jets haven't been to the playoffs in 13 years. If they don't make the playoffs this year, Robert Saleh might be gone, amongst others. He has an 18-33 record. The best that he's done since he's been there is 7-10. They are not a good franchise. Aaron Rodgers and everyone in the building is trying to change that. So you can argue the margins are where you get better, and that everything counts, you know, nothing is everything, everything is something. I can't get outraged over 2 days of minicamp, but I could see the Jets being frustrated, not because he's not there, but more because of what him not being there has caused. Like, the attention that it's brought. It is New York. This is not Green Bay. People have questions. You're dealing with the New York media. The expectations are high. Where is he at? Why isn't he there? Why didn't he plan his wherever he is around this minicamp? All those questions need answers. And look, you get paid a lot of money to answer questions to the media. It's not the worst thing. There's worse ways to make a living. So, you know, I don't have a whole lot of stress. I don't care about this at all. But I could see Robert Saleh being a little frustrated about it.
Well, I mean, I just, looking at James here, just give his take, it's like, somebody's a little biased here. Now, I really don't care because, I mean, like, mini camps and OTAs, you're doing all these different plays, you're practicing them. And during the game, you're not going to do that, right? There's so many players on the team. There's a team full of players. I know A-Rod and myself, I was there. I didn't know a lot of some of the dudes' names because they're not going to be there. You know what it is. Like, some guys, they come here for the camp bodies. Right. Guy come here for this week. He's going to next week. So I get all that. Stuff doesn't matter to me. But I will say this. In all my years of playing football.
Talk about it.
Quarterbacks or Hall of Famers or elite guys, wherever you want to put them at, quarterbacks don't miss mini camps and OTAs and stuff like that. They don't really do that. That's not their thing. It's like a coach missing it. So I guess I can see what people may look at this like, yo, it's a concern. Now, I really don't care because I'm that type of player. As long as Aaron Rodgers going to be there for the game and real camp. But for James to just act like it don't matter at all, it's crazy because no quarterback has ever done that since I've been around. I mean, maybe different.
Jets fans should absolutely be frustrated because they should look at their team and now realize their team has turned into a reflection of Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers, who is he as a person, at least that we see? He thinks that he's smarter than everybody else. Remember when they asked, hey, have you been vaccinated or I've been immunized? He thinks that he should be the general manager. He was saying, wait, why didn't the Packers construct a roster like this? Hey, Jets, y'all should get Lazard. Hey, Jets, y'all should get Cobb. Hey, what did Lazard and Cobb contribute to the Jets team last year? He thinks he should be the head coach. Remember when LeSean McCoy's Bucks beat the Packers to go on to the Super Bowl? Aaron Rodgers questioning Matt LaFleur's decision, though it was the right decision if not for a phantom PI call on Kevin King. And now what do they think? The Jets have the longest playoff drought in the NFL, but they realize they don't need minicamp. Every other team needs minicamp. Every other quarterback needs minicamp. But oh, Aaron Rodgers, you've reached this stage of enlightenment. Only you, Aaron Rodgers, have realized Patrick Mahomes, yes, he hasn't realized yet that you don't need minicamp. Lamar Jackson, he hasn't realized it. Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, they haven't realized it. But you, Aaron Rodgers, you've realized it. And now the Jets, they too have reached enlightenment. Though they have the longest playoff drought in the NFL and tied for the longest playoff drought in all of the 4 major American sports, but the Jets have realized that they don't need what every other NFL team seems to think is necessary. But no, not the Jets. Not Aaron Rodgers. That's why I have an issue with it, James Jones, because Aaron Rodgers is once again acting as though he knows something nobody else knows. He did it from 2020 to 2024. He's done it on the football field. He's done it off the football field. Oh, Aaron Rodgers, the great, mighty, wise one. He's acting like he's the smartest person in the building. But if you're ever the smartest person in the room, you're usually the dumbest person in the room, because why'd you enter a room with a bunch of people that are less intelligent than you? And that's my issue with Rodgers and the Jets. They should be frustrated because they're looking at their team, and their team has turned into a depiction of this individual.
Rodgers got to show up when these games and this training camp come around. That's all I'm going to say. I've been around Aaron Rodgers for a very long time. He's a really close friend to me. And to be honest with you, he wouldn't even really want me up here defending him like this. He'd probably say, JJ, hell with everybody. You know what I mean? So I ain't going to say hell with y'all, but you up, Joy, because this right here is crazy. We are talking about a 2-day mini camp. Changing the course.
Why hasn't anybody else canceled it?
Changing the course.
Why hasn't anybody else canceled it, James Jones?
Listen.
Why?
Even if you haven't canceled it, I've been a part of a lot of mini camps, and I only can speak on me being under Coach Mike McCarthy. At mini camps, as a starter, a veteran, whatever, we took no reps. We were there to clap hands, rah-rah, you're doing good, you look like you lost weight, you've been working out, all that good stuff, right? If you're a contract dude and you've been holding out or whatever, if you didn't get your deal done, you weren't there. If you did get your deal done, we finally see you. That's what that's for. We didn't take no reps. So minicamp really didn't mean that much to us.
Tom Brady,
you're talking 2 days to change a season.
Tom Brady skipped. I remember, obviously, he had some personal issues during training camp. But did Tom Brady, on your Super Bowl journey...
You know Tom ain't doing that.
Did Tom Brady skip minicamp?
Wait, you didn't have no reps in minicamp? Like that.
I mean, couple reps.
But you did have some reps.
Because
we did have some reps. But let me ask you though, like, but like Aaron's really. So if you was, I don't mind what he did. I don't really care, right? As long as you're there for the real camp. But if you ask me if he's looked at as a great leader, right? I don't hear people say that about Aaron Rodgers. When you ask players about Aaron Rodgers that played with him.
Oh wow, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, I mean, let's think about it. They're gonna say like, yo, he's a super great talent, one of these Hall of Famer, but they don't really talk about him as like a leader, right? Look at some of his other than James being one of his best receivers, because James is a little biased, right? But I liked it about James, because I heard that somebody said something about me, he gonna be like that. Yes, so I like that.
I'm gonna ride with you, G.
Guys like Greg Jennings.
Oh wow, what's Greg say?
Pro Bowl receiver, really, really good.
Really good player.
Do you know what he said about him, James? Huh? Wasn't good. Can we leave it like that?
Greg said, yeah.
Jermichael Finley, good tight end.
Really good.
Yo, you see what he said?
What did he say?
I did hear what he said.
A lot of bad things. Wow. All I'm saying is when you look at some of the great quarterbacks of this game, right? You hear about the work ethic. You hear about the preparation. You hear this, that, and the third. There's some guys that be great quarterbacks, but you don't hear players talking about how hard they work or how dedicated they are. Or how It's a lot of guys like that. Like A-Rod's in that group. I think Big Ben's in that group, right? The other dudes, like the Joe Montana, Steve Youngs, like the Tom Brady's, like the Peyton Manning's, when you hear their guys talk about them, they always talk about how hard they work, how disciplined they are, how focused they are, how much of a leader they are. So my thing with A-Rod is I'm not really mad at him of this because the players I talked to and really seeing what they said, he's not known as a leader, right? Well, he's a good player, though.
This is what I will say about 12, because leadership comes in a bunch of different ways, right? So what's a leader to you, Shady?
A guy that's a great example of what we should be like, right? He helps everybody out on the team, right?
Gotcha.
He's never has a weak moment that we can see. He's always encouraging. He's never shying away from being the leader, right? And the best thing is this: he's never going to ask us to do something that he's not willing to do. That's a true leader.
Gotcha. All right, so everything you just said is Aaron. the dude that I've been around. Right. Now, when you talk about
when
you talk about motivating and talking to people, or this one teammate said this, the relationship might be rocky. Aaron Rodgers is gonna be the first one in that building. Aaron Rodgers is gonna be the last one to watch that film, the first one in there to watch that film. Aaron Rodgers is gonna be on that practice field. If it ain't go the way it's supposed to go, Aaron Rodgers is gonna keep your butt after. Right. Aaron Rodgers has been the first person to call me, text me after good game, bad game, whatever it may be. That's the type of dude he is. So
you forgot the last part, though.
When you talk leader, what's
the last part is if we don't do well after the game, the press conference, it was his fault. It was his fault.
He did do that to your receivers.
I watched Tommy, right? It's all our fault. Yeah. The press conference came, I got to be better. I didn't play well today. I did this, I did that. We like, no, you didn't. Yeah. Yes, he did. So when you say all that about Aaron Rodgers, that's cool. But I seen, right, because I know you played with him, so I can't take it away from you. But what I seen is the young receivers his last year in Green Bay. Yo, it was their fault. Because you seen that, right? You seen him say that?
Yeah.
Okay. Because most leaders don't do that.
I understand, man. You're not pleasing everybody. You're going to nitpick everything when it comes to certain people. It's just what come with it.
Not this finger pointing, not Nick, but this finger pointing.
Finger pointing, whatever it may be. I know the type of dude he is, man.
I wish you played with Tommy, dog, so you could see the difference.
I'm glad I played with 12.
I mean, it's not bad. He's not bad, guy. Yeah. If you want more championships,
you know what I'm saying?
You go, you know what I mean? If you want a real leader, you go to him.
I'm glad I got one, though.
You did get one. You got it.
Subscribe here to get the latest from Speak, and go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.